So I guess we are live now. Yep. Okay. There's an odd start usually as we countdown, but I understand today we have a bit of a hiccup. All right. Hi Paul, hi everyone. So welcome to possibly the last week of Alexis and me monkeying around. Yeah. Happy week ahead. Yep, same for you. Hope you I hope while following or while having fun at the expense of Alexis and me, you all did make some profit. Wait a minute. I can't share my screen. Yeah. So yeah, so this will actually be the no, possibly I don't think it's the last week of Alexis and me. We will be around on Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we'll be handing over back to the original trading buddies, which is Jeff and Ed. Yeah. So hopefully they had a good rest and they'll be able to come back with something new. Yeah. So without further ado, let me share my screen. I have something interesting that I want to share with you all later. Okay. That's all. Oh, wait. Let me see. I am actually not a host. How do I actually get demoted to a normal user? Oh, now I'm upgraded. Yeah, must be something which I messed up just now. All right, so before I share something that is weird, uh, not really weird, but I deem interesting. Let's go through the usual way. So my setups for the week ahead. Yep. So I'm actually. Hey, wait a minute. Oh yeah, pound cat. That's right. Yeah. So I'm really triggered in pound cat price is actually at the entry level. So for those of you who are interested, feel free to join in. As for the reason why I decided to trade pound cat. What was the reason I decided to trade pound cat? Oh, simply because it's in the range. No, I'm not exactly in the range. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit out of sorts. Price is in a horizontal level. Yeah, so I kind of like this setup, so I decided to actually just jump in straight. Yeah, not jumping straight exactly. I mean, price actually at the opening of today, it broke below the closing of last week. Had a very nice engulfing body, so that actually jumped. That prompted me to actually jump to this trade. Was pretty direct setup, so I didn't actually think much about it. So that's the one that I've been triggered in already. Pound cats. I still have my trade from dollars SGD last week. It's a bit of a trouble now. Yeah. So if the next candle doesn't hold at 1.36, there she goes. Yeah, I seem to have. Yeah, I don't seem to have quite any luck trading USD for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, so I might result in my third USD loss. No, actually I won Euro USD. Yeah, other than that, I think all my USD trades are in trouble. All right. So that's the next trade. Next setup that I have is actually Euro Swiss. Now, this is actually a bi-directional trade. So as per my usual way of trading, not usual, as per the way that I traded in front of you, I have an engulfing bar on the weekly time frame. It's a very nice engulfing bar there on the H4 side. I'm just waiting for price to actually do the usual break, retest, and I'm happy to trade low. So this is actually the first scenario that I'm looking out for. The second scenario that I'm looking out for is actually Euro Swiss long, as per the currency strength analysis. Now, I understand for this week, the currency index analysis wasn't that solid, simply because I can't find anything that gives me a credible long analysis. Yeah, even for Euro, if you remember the Euro index actually at the bottom of the range, with last week as a big bearish bar. Yeah. So it's just because the Euro index is in a range, currently it's here, then I would say it's only a 50-50 chance that you actually bounce up. Yeah, I'm not exactly confident of that because there's a big bearish bar at the moment. Yeah. So if it did actually bounce up, then my analysis of last week, Swiss is going to continue weaken. then euro, there's a potential of bouncing up, leads to the second way of looking at euro Swiss. That means I'm waiting for price to actually do this. Yeah, so I'm waiting for any trades that give me a higher low or bounce off this level, then I'm happy to go long. Yeah, so either way, euro Swiss long or short, I'm happy to go as long as it actually gives me a reversal price action at the levels that I want to trade. Yeah, so keep lookout for that. Maybe confusing, but if the trade does set up, then I'll actually explain again. Now, Kiwi dollar, so same reason, sorry, engulfing bar at a weekly time frame. So H4, I'm waiting to trade a break. Not a break and retest of the level. Yeah. So bear in mind that this is currently, if price does this, this is a consolidation. So I want to wait for either a very clear cut retest, very nice high test bar, or a huge S bar in the form of bearish bar that closes below this break. Then I'll be happy to jump in. Yeah, otherwise I'll be hesitant to do it. Yeah, so we shall see what happens at 10. Aussie Kiwi, again, looking at the weekly time frame, you can see that very nice high test bar. So also, hopefully price can actually break this level. On the H4 side, I might have more confidence jumping in. Yeah, so it's a bit of a troublesome area to trade from. Yeah. So again, waiting for price to do this. So far, it's not giving me any of the indications. So we shall see what happens when price is near this area. Yeah. So even if price actually does give me a reversal price action at the closing of last week, just to suit my ego, my fear, I might just actually enter at 0.5% only. Yeah. Because I simply can't just ignore this level. It is too obvious a level for me to ignore. So we shall see how that will turn out in the following week, the following days. Now, silver, this is actually an interesting setup. So let me now before I talk, okay, let me do what silver now. Let's look at gold. So if I want to talk about silver, I have to look at gold. Now, reason being that gold has done this. So you can, as you can imagine, 2 weeks back, I was quite hesitant about trading gold. I did get my 3:1 from gold, which is not bad. But looking at what happened now is that gold has made a, I can't say a successful bounce off this area. We can't see any, we don't see really much continuation price action from here. See? But what happens is that gold actually didn't plunge. Yeah. So for all the seasonal gold bulls, then there's a case to make for gold that might follow the seasons go up. Yeah. So what happens is if gold goes up, silver has this tendency to lag behind gold. Yeah, both of them are correlated, but silver has this tendency to lag behind gold. So what it means is that for silver, which is currently looking at a weekly time frame, you can see that after this bearish bar, after this rejection bar over here, last week followed by another bearish bar, we had a very good opportunity of actually jumping into silver at a much more, how should I say, discounted area, a value buy area. Yeah, so my point being for silver trade is that I don't have a PA set up on a weekly time frame, but what I have is, since I know, not for a fact, but because I've done plenty of backtesting, I know silver usually lags behind gold. And gold has, looking back at the gold chart, you can see that it has rallied a bit, not a lot, a bit, and silver might just follow through. Yeah, so that's my basis for the silver trade, in which it might happen. Yeah, if it does, I'll be happy to jump into a trade. So what I'm looking at, so even for silver, you can see that this is the level that it has bounced off. I'm not comfortable jumping into here right now. I'm definitely not comfortable. So the first scenario that I'm waiting for silver to do is this. If it does this, I'll jump in at 0.5 over here. If it does this, I'll go in at another 0.5. Then I prepare to ride for either a pretty good take profit. Yeah. So we shall see whether either of these two scenarios. Yeah. It might not actually break it might actually break the trend line without giving me a higher low. Then in this case, I'll just wait for this. Yeah, really, this level is where I'm looking forward to place a trade. That would be my primary level. Yeah, anything in between here, I would say it's a discounted price for me to get it. I might as well make advantage of it since my analysis is that silver lags behind gold and gold is a bit of a rally. So we shall see whether this scenario really plays out. Yeah, if it does, I don't mind for the whole week just waiting for this trick. Yeah, I suspect it will give me a pretty good week again of suspicion. Don't know exactly will that happen or not. Yeah. So keep a lookout for silver. Definitely this is one of the setups that I will keen to emphasize. Yeah. Now dollar caps. Ooh la la. Yeah, so again, this is from the currency index analysis. So if you remember from the currency index, this is where dollar is right now. Here. Yeah, so it has ended up with a bullish bar since last week, I think. Yeah. So it's in a range. So there is equal chance of price doing this, going down again, or if I just break up. Who knows? Yeah. So if it actually breaks up, then dollar CAD is one of the trade where I'll be keen to get it. If it actually bounces off from this level, then this is where I'll be going for my 1% setup and see where it takes us. Yeah. I would still think that CAD is still CAD, CAD and oil will still be weakening. Yeah. So I would say if this really as 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 of now, it is actually a low test bar. So I don't know whether this will be the same at 5 p.m. time. If it does, then I'll be happy to actually go in and see whether it gives me a good ride. Yeah. So this, I don't have as much trade setups compared to last week. But then again, last week, most of the profitable one, I somehow managed to not trade simply because 1 p.m. I am out. Yeah. And this week, I hope I can grab at least 2 or 3 good trades, and we shall see how that goes. From Lewis, USD strength is a key factor for gold to fly. Let me see. Really? Is USD strength a key factor for gold to fly? I'm not questioning you. I'm thinking about it. Is there a correlation in that? Lexus, is there a correlation in that for USD and gold?
I don't trade gold, I don't know.
I know Aussie.
Never noticed.
AUD has a correlation to gold because since Aussie is a mining country, they do export gold. So I know when Aussie rallies, gold usually also rallies. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, the only thing that I can link for USD strength is because when it's a what do you call that, a risk-off environment. That's when people actually want to buy into USD. So it's the same reasoning. Then they will want to actually accumulate gold. That would be the only thing. Are we in a risk-off environment?
I don't think so. Not yet. I guess it's not. At least that's not what the markets are saying.
Oh wait. Oh, I misunderstood Louis. So he said if USD continues to strengthen, then gold may not rally now. Again, I don't know the correlation to that, so I don't really want to. I'm not in a very good position to comment on that.
You should look for Ainsley. Where must go and ask. I guess
I'll message her on Wednesday or Tuesday night. Remind her to come on Wednesday.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, I've done with my setups that I have for the week. Over to you.
Oh, all right. I have a couple of trades that I might want to jump in on. Let's see. Hope I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, so I mean Monday is always a day of I would say assessment, right? So I usually feel that Monday is the day where we try to start the week strong, and psychologically sometimes we can jump the gun. So I'm very careful about piling trades on Monday. But there are a couple of quite nice setups that I have. I'm just going to jump in on, let me see whether it's flown. All right. Okay, unfortunately, the pound Swiss, okay, as you guys know, the story hasn't changed for me. I am still bullish on the Swiss, which means I'm bearish on anything that's paired with the Swiss, right? So I actually put in an entry just when we started the show, but the price moved a little bit fast, but it's a very small risk for me because I'm just trying to like, since it's a Monday, I always like to like test the market first. Um, and so my risks on Mondays are usually either 0.1 or 0.25, but it looks like the price has already flown and passed my entry. I didn't even get entered in. So this is a pound Swiss short. Where did this trade come from? It came from I mean, I was looking at it since last week, right? And whatever uh, whatever we've taken the week prior, I was probably out very, very fast because again, I tend to take my profits a lot faster. So I was trying to find a second leg into it. So if you look at this trend line, top and bottom channel that this is trading at, okay, what it means that, you know, price has reached and testing the bottom trend line. You can see just based on the daily price action, there is a potential resistance at the base over here. So what it means is when we scroll in, the reason why I only have a 0.1% risk on it is because there is very little distance. So my entry was actually at, on this bar over here. It's only maybe 24 pips to a TP all. So this was one of those like very small risk, but you know, just try to go short to go long. And whether or not you'll go long, I don't know. All right, but what I am looking for is I prefer, of course, to wait for more shorts. So what I'm trading, looking for in the pound Swiss trade on the bigger time frames, okay, is to look for the pair, okay, to break below the trend line, and of course, you know, go this way, because again, medium long term, I'm still looking for short opportunities, and maybe this is the area that I would like to trade it into. So if I'm popping out to a weekly time frame, okay, let's go a bigger picture. You can see weekly time frame. I've got a larger trend line on the top, which is I'm using for the daily time frame. And I think last week, just a recap, we did have a chat about what is a bearish or bullish flagpole, and I was very pleased to know that this is not a bullish flag pattern, and I was reading it wrongly, so I'm learning every day about this price action thing. So what I'm very keen is looking for this um, to break below the trend line. All right, I don't know what pattern is it, but just looking for more heaviness to break below the trend line. So today, possibly we will have this we might, it might take some time to reach there, you know, because we are at a level of consolidation. So in terms of price action, we might see, like, you know, we have this big red candle, we might have a consolidation candle this week, and then if everything goes to plan, we have a continuation. This would be like some kind of continuation pattern that I'm hoping to see in the next 2 weeks. All right, so this is a long play. If I go down to the daily time frame, then how do I find advantages into this trade is to see whether price is able to give us slightly earlier entry, whether we can break below this trend line. If the price, if the daily candle is green today, then of course we've got to be patient and wait for the later part of the week. But on the hourly time frame, what I am looking for is I am looking for taking opportunities down. And the reason why I don't want to pile in too much risk, right, is because on the shorter time frame, there is a risk that price might retrace, right? Might retrace. Try to adjust the candle. So on the shorter time frame, this is what price might do, right? Price might reach here, and then it might go back up and touch down here, right? Because we do have a weekly pivot untested still, right? And then if price does reach here, then it might give us another leg down. So, I mean, what price is doing, it tends to do something like this, right? So we might have another retracement and pattern forming, especially on a shorter time frame. So this is the reason why, while I am waiting for shorts, I don't want to rush into it. And basically, if I've already missed my entry, if I'm not able to get entered within, like, by the end of by end of 4 o'clock, I'm just going to cancel this trade and wait for tomorrow instead. Because as long as I can't see the chart, you know, I don't want to leave it on its own, because this is a questionable trade. Questionable meaning that there's very little room on the downside, and I'm going short, right? So once we hit the downside, there's a high chance that price will definitely retrace, and it might not come back down again, right? Instead, it will retrace and maybe go back up and hit weekly pivot before coming back down if I'm still looking for short. So a little bit of patience into this particular pair. All right, so this is a trade. I'm still leaving it on. I'm leaving on this trade until 4 o'clock. And if 4 o'clock I don't get it and I'm walking away from the computer, then I'm going to cancel it and we'll see what comes up at the US timing. The other price I was looking at is CAT Swiss. Let me see, have I placed a trade for this yet? Not yet. CAT Swiss CAT Swiss interests me because I'm bouncing off weekly pivot at the moment. You can see on the H1 is bouncing off weekly pivot. On the daily time frame, my green line over here means it's an RSI. So I've hit an RSI, an oversold price action last Friday, right? Last Friday. So price has kind of gapped back up, retraced by a nice bullish candle to the upside. Whether or not it'll continue going up, now that is the next question which I will ask the charts, right? Are we going to find a way back up? So if you look at a weekly time frame, and with weekly time frame, then what I am looking for is we have a horizontal level that is already here. Will price has already broken through? Will price come up and retest and go back down? Right, so this again is something that I am looking for over the medium term, at least for oil, for CAT, and of course is the oil correlation. And of course, when we look at the oil charts, just a quick reference, it still does look heavy, right? It still does look a little bit heavy. We do have a little bit of retracement today. We have hit our target of $62. I think last week we were talking about a couple of dollar targets, 62. The next target might be a $58. 58 would be somewhere around here, 59 or below 68. I think once price hits below 60, there is a chance that price will that it will drop a little bit more. So this is the weekly time frame, right? And you can see that if price hits, let me see, where's my $60 line? I'm going to put a $60 line over here. Okay, this is $60. Okay, so $60 line is somewhere over here. So what I'm really keen is to trade towards this so-called psychological dollar value, right? Because I think if price does touch 60, it will bounce straight back up really quickly, right? But whether or not it will break below, I don't know. But again, if price does break below 60, I think psychologically the traders will kind of let it waterfall a little bit into the next support level. So a little bit tricky in terms of this, because we are nearing strong supports. All right, we are nearing the monthly support to WS1 just around the $60 area. So very, very strong support here. Is it worth to chase this back down to this much of pips? Maybe on the daily time frame, a little bit difficult, but I do see opportunities on the hourly time frame. All right, as long as my cyclicity, my lower low, lower high is still there, then I will continue to look for opportunities to the downside, at least for the medium term. So we have a weekly time frame, weekly pivot right over here. Hopefully I can catch a trade off this area and hit back down, but we'll see whether it goes, because now it's hanging in the middle. And I think as of last week, Lord has shared with us into the US timing, we do get a little bit more movement. So not in a hurry to jump in on this one, but definitely keeping an eye on it, because my next kind of correlated pair is the CAT Swiss. So again, while I'm very tempted to jump in on the CAT Swiss, bearing in mind that it's got a slight correlation with the oil trade, I do want to take it short. But in this case, I am not jumping in on this candle. Okay, I don't want to jump in on this candle, which will make my entry over here. I want to wait for the 4 p.m. candle. The reason is really simple. I want to make sure I have a ring high pattern, which is something like this pattern, right? I want to get a ring high pattern to get a little bit of confirmation that this downward motion is confirmed. Place my entry somewhere below here and trade it towards the. I'm aiming to trade, take a TP for CAT Swiss somewhere around here, or at least make my entry safe once it hits the daily pivot. But until I get my ring high entry at 4 p.m., I'm not going to put in the trade too prematurely. Again, it's a Monday, so the Monday, and I think the focus on Monday is everyone's eager to get started trading, but let's not just jump into trades. All right. So this is what I'm waiting for in a CAT Swiss, for the ring high to form to give me the confirmation instead of a continuation pattern. So I don't want to get caught in here. So this is what I'm waiting for. All right. What else am I think Aussie dollar is the next one that I'm waiting for. Aussie dollar is a little bit tricky because I have been holding Aussie dollar for I don't know how long already, very, very long already, the longest time. One, two, I think this is my third week holding on. I'm still bearish on Aussie dollar. All right. We definitely will have a couple of maybe people trying to buy the Aussie dollar because they do see a lot of oversold positions over here. So definitely we are due for some retracement. We are due for some retracement, but whether or not the retracement is strong enough, I would like to go to the weekly pivot, right? Sorry, weekly time frame. So we might get a green candle today, all right, which will retrace a little bit. Not too sure where, but what I do see just plain on the charts is there is a little bit more room at the bottom over here before a serious retracement comes. So when I say serious retracement, it is something like this, right? Where price touches it and then big bullish bar comes up and then we get a huge pull up. All right. So whether or not you reach on the top, I don't know. But what I am looking for is I'm looking to trade. This is part one. This is part two. I'm hoping that this trade will take me all the way to this level. But again, this is just my longer term targets of allowing the trade to run. But if I don't get that, then I'll just react accordingly. What I do like about this is that as long as I don't get too big a green candle today and I get a small green candle, in terms of price action, it will just mean like it's a consolidation candle or giving me an opportunity to have a continuation pattern tomorrow. So I'll get this nice big red one, a little small green one, and another big red one. So this is what I'm looking for. All right, but of course I'm keeping a close watch because if in the end this turns out to be a retracement, instead I'm just going to take all the profit I can, and close off my latest entry this morning, and we'll see where it goes. All right. So there are support levels that are happening over there. I think Lewis is sharing there's a big support at level at 0.70. So 0.70. Let me see, where is it? Just for point of reference, 0.70 is somewhere over here. So yep, Louis, 0.70 is somewhere where my target is for the first round of where I should be a bit more careful. So you're right. This is my level. I think my level, the round figure, my level one, my part one of this week, I'm aiming for. And if this level is broken, then we'll go for part two. All right. But on the hourly, how I've managed to find an entry, it's a little bit loosey goosey, right? So small risk again. Okay, I'm putting a small risk mainly because I want to at least get confirmation, and the reason why I'm having a small risk on it is because price looks like it's consolidating today, so I don't want to pile in too much risk. And as you can see, I've got a very small TP over here because I want to just in case I'm looking at away from the charts, right, I at least catch a couple of pips here. But ultimately, the management of the entire trade, I will want to exit at these two places. When price hits this level, it's my first consideration of do I want to close everything, close all my previous entries. If I hesitate here, then this is my second level of whether I want to close all my entries. All right, so I have these two areas for me to start thinking about whether to close or not. So I'm actually planning my backup exit in case price does a huge retracement. And of course, if I do exit over here, then do I want to re-enter over here? So these are a couple of levels that I keep an eye out for, also moving forward, so that I know what to do in case price turns the other way and go around, so that I can react fast enough. All right, so I do have a couple of lines on the charts. These are my potential either to take profit or either to take profit and then where to re-enter the trade. So Aussie dollar has done very well for me last couple of weeks, so I'm going to continue to see whether I can ride this slide on the way down. I think other than that, Aussie Kiwi is another one I'm looking at. Okay, Aussie Kiwi's chart is another one I'm looking at. And Aussie Kiwi, very simply, is last week we had all the Kiwis tanking, right? Because and I found out what the reason was. I think was the New Zealand went on the 3-day lockdown on August 17. I think, something like that, 17 or 18. And on that day, all the kiwis dropped, right? All the kiwis dropped. And of course, the next 1 or 2 days after the big red candle, I think on Friday, there were a couple of retracement candles that appeared. So this is interesting because it means that the kiwi has done its drop. And now we have an opportunity to either trade the retracement or to trade the continuation of the kiwi pair. So this week, I am looking at a bit of the kiwi pairs because I do think there's some opportunity for some of the pairs. So Aussie Kiwi, let me get a bigger chart. Okay, Aussie Kiwi over here. Let me just put this on. So on the daily time frame, and I'm zooming out, Aussie Kiwi interests me, really simply is because we have bounced off this area. It's like a very neat double bottom at here. And the question is, is the Aussie stronger than the Kiwi, and will it allow us to head back up, or is this going to consolidate? Now, I'm definitely more bullish on the Kiwi as compared to the Aussie, just based on fundamentals. So to go long on the Aussie Kiwi, it's not the most comfortable trade for me. But if I trade it technically, I'm hoping to find a way in. And also on the weekly time frame, I think what I have to convince me to go long the Aussie is that you can see ever since May, the 14th of May till now, we have this big demand zone over here, right? We have prices bouncing off this entire area. We had a false break over here, but basically this is a very, very strong support level that price has been bouncing off. So which means in the spirit of probability, right, there is a decent probability that price, at least even if it doesn't go back all the way up here, it might go back halfway. All right. So this is why while I'm a bit conflicted, fundamentally on this, but the charts are telling me that we have hit an area of support, right? A huge area of support on the weekly time frame. So despite my uncomfortableness trading short Aussie Kiwi, I will be looking for Aussie Kiwi longs on the shorter time frame to see whether the support level holds and to see whether the technicals can bring me back up. So we're going to trade this technically in that sense, all right? But with a bit of caution, because it's a little bit against the fundamental feeling that I have. I rather go short, but I do see the big opportunity for the long. I'm moving this I think, let me see, do I still have an over? Yeah, I think no, this is no longer valid. No RSI here. Okay, so Aussie Kiwi waiting for the longs. Not today because price is between weekly pivot and daily pivot. So I do want a little bit of clarity. All right, so until what entries I'm looking for is for price to break out of weekly pivot and hit this way to longs. Of course, this will be my first TP and this will be my second or maybe even final TP. So I'm looking to trade these two sections towards the upside. All right. Alternatively, if price doesn't give me the signal that I want, if we still get a lot of support level over here, I'm also very happy to put a small risk on and trade it down at least to this area. So this is also, I think, one of Lloyd's, what was the word he used? Dual direction trade.
Two-sided trade.
Yeah, it might be a two-sided trade. So this has potential for this to be a two-sided trade. Maybe this week is the week of two-sided trade. I don't know, but I think there is a lot of opportunity to go both ways in some of this. And again, it's Monday, so I'm not too much a hurry to set my idea in stone. But these are the setups that I will be watching for, or I would love to watch out for. I think my last, Euro Kiwi is already out of my brain, so cannot. It's the gap up today is a lot at a very weird space that I'm not comfortable trading. But you can see that the Euro Kiwi has gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in one row. So it's I can't comprehend where it's going. Look at amount, but I can tell you Euro Kiwi is due for a breakout. It will break out somewhere. The question is where. Until I can figure out, it is just I might just have to watch it fly. But look at the way it's on the daily, hourly time frame. It's just sticking into this record spring. So it probably is due for a nice breakout. And when I talk about breakout, I'm talking about the price action that does this. So you can see this very nice coil and then bam, it goes, right? So it is doing this now, but the problem is I don't know where. All right. So until I can figure out where it's going, I can't find an entry, right? Because I don't want to go in the opposite direction. But it is due for a breakout. It might maybe, especially if Tuesday it consolidates one more day, then I think Wednesday, Thursday it will fly somewhere. So one eye on the Euro Kiwi, where is breaking out to, I don't know. Okay, but we have this tight, tight consolidation that's happening. All right, and hopefully maybe Lloyd can see something I don't, but definitely putting an orange mark over on the Euro Kiwi. Last pair, I think. Do I have? Let me just take a peek at it. Yeah, pound Kiwi. I was looking for a short trade, but it didn't appear. It just went backwards. So I guess that's out. Did I? Oh, unfortunately, I got triggered and I headed back. Okay, pound Kiwi, I actually entered because again, um, I was looking for the short trade. If you look at the daily time frame, you can see that the double top over there has been hit. On the H1, I've just entered based on the break of this, this red candle over here. This admittedly is not the prettiest of trades, but my daily pivot is still stepping down. So I am comfortable holding the shorts, but it looks like I might get I might get stopped out of this one. It's I'm pretty close. So if price breaks out of this trend line over here, it means that I probably am in the wrong direction. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it for this one because I only have a very small risk on it. But what I'm looking for on the bigger picture is for a pound Kiwi short. So we'll see whether this turns out for me or will I enter in a stop loss. By the time I hit maybe the US timing, I'll probably have my answer. Either be stopped out by then, or I'll at least be safe. Be safe over here at a 1:1 for this trade. But this how you say, this trading plan came from a overbought position. Okay, and I did get my first lower high. All right, so I got my lower highs. So I am going to allow this to. I'm just going to allow this to see whether it's got any leg room. So I'm just going to leave this trade alone. But I'm still convinced it's pound Kiwi short here. I think there's a change. It's just that price is very spiky. I might have not entered the best timing, but I still think that there's room to go short. So my next question is, let's pop in on a H4, and do I move my stop loss a little bit higher to shift behind? So again, I'll make a decision at 4 o'clock. I might move my stop loss up a little bit so that I don't get the spiky, I don't get pipped out, right? So I might move it just another 15 pips to just above the previous high of the H4 candle. So yeah, I might move the stop loss, but I'm still going to sit on the short trade on this one. I might be wrong here. This is not. I might be wrong. I'm just trading this as per the strategy. So we'll let Lloyd throw in any more ideas to make me panic and see whether I should just shut off the trade. I can see him thinking over there already. I know he's trying to either give me something to think about, or to convince me the direction is the other way, or to make me feel better. So what will it be, Lloyd?
I'm actually looking at Euro Kiwi.
Euro Kiwi.
Not pound Kiwi, Euro Kiwi.
Oh, the one that was super high.
Yeah, I don't think it's expensive to buy Euro Kiwi now. I'll show you my view.
Okay. See, I can feel that you're convincing me. Should I jump in now and just park my entry there? Is it?
No, not really, because I mean, depends on how you see it, like let's say for Euro Kiwi, I mean, just looking at this portion, it's consolidating. That part is true, but at the same time, even if you show it to a someone who's not a trader and ask them, just a simple question: who do you think is controlling? Who is in control right now? Just looking at the past couple of months, I'm on a money chart. Then I think no doubt most will tell you that buyers are certainly in more control. I mean, not by a huge extent, but buyers are certainly in control simply because there's more consistent buying throughout. Then if you look at the weekly chart, now I don't know how many of you actually see this. So this is actually a pretty nice level for price to actually consider a breakup. Then I'm not a trend line trader. If you throw in a trend line, then where price is currently, it certainly looks very, very tempting to put in a long position. I would say the first long position before price actually rallies. Yeah, so they would have actually got in. I mean, now I'm on a weekly chart, so I'm talking about last week. Yeah, so some would have already got in from here since it broke the trend line. Yeah, so the second level to clear will actually be this horizontal level where you can see that price bounced off in the past, hesitation, retested. So whether price will actually go here or goes up, at least from if I add in the trend line dimension, then I would say that it has more probability of going upward from here. Yeah, so Euro Kiwi would actually benefit from that. Now, the problem with Euro Kiwi going up, the one problem that I have with Euro Kiwi going up is that in relation to your pound Kiwi trade, is that we know there are certain correlation with Euro and pound. Yeah, they move together. I mean, they are not 1:1 correlated. Yeah, so if my analysis tells me that there's more upside potential for Euro Kiwi, then at the same breath, I will also say there's more upside for pound Kiwi potential. Yeah, so that's the issue.
Thanks, Lloyd. Thanks very much.
Yeah, that's the issue.
It's just Monday. Give me a break.
But on the other hand, okay, if I look at pound Kiwi, right, I don't really see, technically speaking, I don't really see a upside potential on pound Kiwi as of now. Yeah. Instead, just with relation to pound Kiwi, this is what I see. It's gonna be hitting a huge resistance. Yeah. So, but like I mentioned, because Euro and pound, it's not exactly a 1:1 correlation. I mean, nothing is 1:1 correlated. Yeah, the correlation is there. So, and since this is a huge resistance, as we can see on the chart, possibly what I suspect is that price, I mean, it has done its false break, it has done its retest, rally. There's a good possibility that it will actually go down before it makes another attempt. Yeah, it doesn't follow Euro quite as closely. Eventually, it will. I don't think it's now actually. Yeah, I mean, it may just follow whatever that is happening now, right? This whole chunk can be the same story as what has happened in the past.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, you can be right, but you can be right a bit later, lah. I mean, because I just needed to go 30 pips down. 30 pips down, I'll hit my 1:1. I'll be safe, and then you can go back long. Then.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, as in, it may be following the patterns of the past. So that means, in that sense, your pound Kiwi trade will still work out.
Yeah, but now you've made me very tempted on the Euro Kiwi one. I mean, I do see what you're seeing on the weekly, and that is the tempting part for me. Now the problem is figuring out how do I enter without getting fined $1.
But between Euro Kiwi and pound Kiwi, I will personally I'll put my money more on Euro Kiwi. Yeah.
I mean, I on the weekly time, I think on the weekly time frame, I can see that there is that really good probability. Plus, on the daily time frame, we have a very nice gap up already. So there is a gap between Friday's closing price and today's opening price. So it's a very nice gap, at least on the chart that I am on. On your chart, the gap. Can you look at the daily? Does yours have a gap as well? Oh yeah, yours have a gap there. Yeah. So I think there is a lot of upward pressure on the Euro Kiwi. We have a gap on your broker. We have a gap on my broker. So there's a good chance that the pressure to the upside is pretty strong. So I think the challenge on the H1 is to finding an entry, because the stickiness, like I don't really like trading when the price is sticking to the pivot like that, and there's it's just sticking to the line. So this would really have to find an opportunity to figure out what is the rule that I can take without breaking to get in on this.
I agree with you. Yeah, because while I can see this, I'm also afraid of this. I mean, if this leaf off, right, that will be like, bye.
Yeah,
I mean, at least
this one is the ultimate FOMO effect.
Yeah. So I can see this totally happening with me saying bye.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge chance I might not be able to get in properly in time. I can't find a way in. So I'm checking the H4, I'm checking the daily, I'm trying to see what rule can I use to take the entry. Because if I can't find the rule, no matter how good the trade setup is, it's really hard to be consistent later. And there's so many things that tells me I cannot take this trade. So it's one of those like, do I break my rules and have a chance? But then what happens if price does pop to the downside? So again, it's risk of trade versus psychology over here, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I mean, in the sense that I also have difficulty finding trades with that. Oh well, we shall see how that turns out. Anyway, something to share with you all is that
you have to
Yep, sorry.
No, you have to research a breakout trade strategy, right? You know, something to like give us a set of rules to trade breakouts like this.
I have, ma. I shared with you in the past, ma.
Which one? Oh, no, is it the wait?
Pivot squeeze.
Is it the squeeze one?
Yeah.
Oh yes, the squeeze. Wait, okay. While you are explaining to them this, let me just check the template and see whether this has got a pivot squeeze. Maybe that is the rule to get in. I'm going to try. I'm going to check.
Yeah. I mean, in relation to Go, I don't know why am I going back to Go again, but yeah. So I have this chart here that shows the Go and US correlation. So I don't exactly see a nice correlation or uncorrelation. Yeah, I don't see I mean, compared to gold and silver, 10 years, I mean, this is a 30-year chart, but look, just have a look at the 10-year, I can see a correlation, you see, or a negative correlation if it exists. Yeah, but between gold and US dollar, I mean, all I can see is these two sets, but in between there are the movement is quite messy. Yeah, so we've just said my conclusion is possibly USD is not a good gauge for the potential movement of gold. That's my first conclusion looking at gold and US dollar. Then, like I mentioned, gold and silver would be a nice correlated trade. So my take on gold and silver is that when gold move, silver usually follow 1 or 2 weeks later. Yeah, so and silver being a much more useful industrial commodity, yeah, you can actually consider that. Gold and oil, even in the last 30 years, is that pretty hard for me to say if there's any. I mean, at certain stages, I can see there's a correlation at certain stages, but ever since what 2020, where there's a huge divergence, that's about it. Again, well, I don't really know, man. Possibly Wednesday I'll throw this tough question to Inslee about correlations. Yeah. It'd be nice if they show me there's any chart between gold and crypto. I suspect it'll be inversely correlated. But at this time now, I can't really draw a conclusion. Yeah. Fact, the FED balance sheet versus gold price. Maybe Alexis can shed some light on that, but because I don't really know what the Fed's numbers are, then what does this even mean? Yeah, sorry guys, I mean, this is just questions off my head. I mean, what I'm trying to do is see if I can find anything that somewhat predicts gold. Other than seasonality, I know seasonality is in favor of gold, but there's nothing that really puts me in favor of gold at the moment. Yeah. Ooh. No trouble. But anyway, this is not interesting that I actually wanted to share with you. So before my time runs out, what I wanted to show you is this trality. How pronounce that? Trality. Yeah, so this is actually I only started playing around this morning. Saw it last night. Yeah, but was too lazy to get on my bed to actually play along. So trality is actually a bot creation tool for trading cryptos. At the moment, you're only trading cryptos. Yeah. So let me see. Let me get rid of the. Yeah, you all can actually register for free. Yeah. So Currency gives you powerful and flexible tools to create, test, and deploy cryptocurrency trading bots on a cloud-based ecosystem. Currently, it can be linked with Binance and 3 other exchange. Yeah, I forgot what they are. Yeah, so you all can actually register for free demo account to try it out. There's a price to pay if you really want to deploy the bots, but just for trying it, it's for free. Yeah, so I just had a go at it. No, I'm not an ambassador for this product. I thought just interesting. Yeah. So you can see that just anyhow put in MA crossover for the 1 hour time frame, short period, long period, 10 and 20 for buying long signal and sell signal. Yeah, on which chart? Which chart did I employ this on? Oh, I think I employed on cake BNB. Yeah, so for cake prices. Yeah. And I had a very disastrous result. Yeah, so you can see that my drawdown was 82.23% at one point. Maximum drawdown, total returns is negative. Yeah, so I thought for those of you who are interested in dabbling with rule-based trading, especially for crypto sites, yeah, if you think, I have a fantastic idea for a bot relation to trading crypto, especially if you know that, or rather if you listen to Shukri, there are certain seasonal, no, certain trends that exist in crypto. Give this a try. Yeah, because you can actually choose to test on a 3-month period, 6 months period, 1 year, different time frames. Yeah, so if you like, even for scenario, you can look for downward scenarios, sideways scenarios, upward scenarios. Yeah, so you can actually put your bot to test on certain trends, uptrends only, downtrends only, or sideways trends. Yeah. So this is as rule-based as it gets, and because you can link your accounts, your crypto exchange account to this, then there you have a bot. Yeah, and you don't need to learn coding.
That looks
So
very cool.
so it's like, let's say go for, I don't know, let's go for something which you all are familiar with. Oh, RSI, I'll use RSI. For RSI for buy signal, let's go for, I'll use 4. So if it, I just on the 50 level, then on the sell signal, 4 on a 50 level. X, oh, sorry, that's for sell signal, buy signal, same thing. All right, so 5. Oh, again, this is not a paid advertisement. This is something which I thought is interesting. This I shared. And so I have a buy signal and sell signal for RSI based on 1 hour time frame. I can change the time frame if I want to. Yep. So these are the available time frames. But let's keep that as this. Then I keep the asset that I've chosen is Luna BNB or Luna. Let me remove Luna. Let me put Cardano. Cardano page is BNB. Let's say I do want a buy signal. I don't want a sell signal. Only one buy signal. I mean, with the power of hindsight, we know that Cardano is on a rally. So I don't know whether this actually works out well. So I just start my back testing. We shall see how that turns out on a 1 year period. So you can see that it starts to run whatever it's supposed to run. Yeah. Any of you actually interested in such a thing? I mean, personally, I find it interesting, but it has too few indicators for me to play about. Yeah, for rule-based trading, I still need more options to play around. Yeah, currently it does not offer that, but I'll be keen to keep a lookout what it has in the future. Yeah, yeah.
I'm interested but lazy. So you do the work first, I copy you cannot.
If I mean, just now you saw the indicators that they offer for now. This is still on a beta stage, so it has less than 20 indicators that I can play with.
You play finish first, then I'll follow what you choose, okay?
If it actually offers more indicator and more customization, I think I have a decent chance of getting a rule-based bot into profit with simple command. As of now, I don't think I can. So, well, this is an interesting toy which I wanted to show to your trolley TV. I don't know how they came out with that name. All right, so that's about it. Let me wait. I think it's backtest finish.
Wow.
And wow,
79% draw.
very nice. Maximum drawdown, total return of 26.59. If anybody can sit through this, I would say that
at least still got 26%, right? What's historical CVAR?
I have no idea. They have only executed one trade only. Wow. That means this. Yeah, so this is not something that can be used. Oh well, that's the fun part of testing.
Yeah, so you do the work first, okay? Then once you say the thing pass already, then I follow. It's too complicated for me.
That is not complicated. That is, I thought for an approach to bot creation, I thought that is simple to use. Yeah, but just that it's too simple. All right, so with that, anything that you let me go through my trade setups. My Tomcat is still healthy. I think it's still don't have anything immediate that I should be jumping in.
I mean, my pound Swiss is too far beyond already. I'm canceling the pending order. It just went without me. I was too slow for the pound Swiss, so I'm just going to leave it alone and wait for a second entry. I'm very tempted on your Euro Kiwi. I blame you, of course.
You asked me for my opinion. If you didn't ask me, I would have kept my mouth shut.
That is true. So it's actually my fault. Yeah, I am definitely very tempted on the Euro Kiwi because I have used one of Lloyd's other brainchilds, a different strategy, and it does show me a potential for a breakout. It does show me that today would be a good day to place an entry, either short or long. But since we do seem to have a long bias, we could, I mean, technically we could do a long and short entry just to catch the breakout, as long as our entries are far enough to catch it one way, right? Again, I'm not sure how confident I am of execute. What is an OCO, open, what do you call this? OCO trade, is it?
Open close.
What's the name for it? Yeah, I forgot the name for it.
OCO is both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has potential for OCO trade lah. And of course, my bias is to the upside. I mean, if you look at the H1, my question then, what would be considered engulfing bar? Maybe I should just pick an engulfing pair and use that as a OCO entry, top and bottom. But it's just very sticky. It's just very sticky. How shall I? 0.1%. Should I try?
No.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say you should
no.
try.
You're not going to give you $1. Okay, no, I am going to sit out of it, all right? I'm just going to grumpily look at it. And speaking of which, I think Swiss yen, right? As you guys know, bullish the Swiss, right? Swiss yen has left the train without me as usual because, again, I had so much hesitation that I kind of missed it. I didn't catch the moves that I was supposed to take for the Swiss yen last Friday. Swiss yen actually broke out last Friday. Actually broke out this morning, but there was a potential entry. Did I miss it? Yeah, I think I missed it. This is this morning's trade. Let me just double check this Swiss yen to see whether we can re-catch it. Yeah, actually Swiss yen left this morning at I think 8 a.m. Yeah, it really flew after 8 a.m. So I was not awake early enough to catch it. But Swiss yen would have been a good long trade for this morning. So well, don't miss it. Since we missed it, we'll see whether it comes back down to entry. I think that's about it for me as well. the only trade I'm left with right now is considering the cat Swiss for a short. I'm not entering it yet until the 4 o'clock candle opens, and then I might put a very small trade on the short side, like a 0.1, 0.25 kind. Trade it down into MS1. For those of you who don't have daily pivot, we are trading this down to MS1, cat Swiss short. And of course, I am still sitting on the pound Kiwi, which, I'm just leaving it there. And that's all I have.
Before I end this show on a good note, last week I actually did share, did talk chat with, not exactly share, but I did talk about Binamon coin. Yeah, any of you actually got it? Actually got it at about 30 cents or 35, 0.32. So today has rallied to 0.81. Just a bit more, I would have made 3 times my investment.
When are you exiting?
I'm waiting for it to. I'm just gonna wait it for until it hits $3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. If it does that, I can buy you lots of breakfast set.
All right. Awesome. I will look forward to your Binamon hitting.
I still think I'm gonna actually scale in today, just to share with you all. Scale in today because Binamon officially can start playing on the 20th August, which is end of this week. Yeah. So I actually made a fair bit of what do you call that? Homework. I did a fair bit of homework. Not a fair bit, some homework. Not like there's a lot of NFT games around. Yeah. For those NFT games, the top 5, right? So you see that before it officially launches its game, right? Exit from the beta testing, price already start to rally. But on the day of beta testing the following week, right? It actually rallied quite a fair bit. Yeah. So that's the simple homework that I've done. So with relation to that, so this is still 80 cents, still below $1. So I think this is not an investment or financial advice for those people who want to consider this coin. I think you can. Yeah. So I'm not very particularly aggressive of it. If you think of XCMC can hit 76, then this one hitting $3 is not that far-fetched.
Yeah, but I think not just that. I think the other not as popular ones, like the ones I shared with you before, like the D-pad and all that, those that have like sort of launch, even if like, they it also hit at least $4-5 at least lah. And then it came back down, of course, like $3. But I think $3 is a very reasonable starting. Yeah, it's a very reachable price. I think for if the game does have some leg room.
Yeah. Then, considering that for this NFT, some of the most expensive NFT for Binamon, the game has not officially launched, but for those beta testers that actually got in and played, they're selling that particular monster at about 5,000.
Wow, 5,000. The last time I saw the YouTube was like 2,000 plus. Now 5,000 already.
Yeah, so now it's like, so if they are willing to sell at 5,000, then I think that XC, what are the more expensive ones?
No, that one go up to very high. Like the medium range ones, the cheap ones are about 200 USD. The medium range ones are about 500. And of course, they have the 10,000 ones. Okay. It's really a wide range. But I think the beginning, what you call it, the limited edition, the first release, the first release can go. This is the one that I think James was showing us. It went up for like 1 million. It's like the first edition. Maybe you go buy one, it become first edition. You also can become instant millionaire.
I think only beta tester will get the initial release or first edition, those kind of.
Is it? I thought it's those who like bought the monster early or something.
I'm not very sure. Yeah, but anyway, if I take XP Infinity as a gauge, right? If you say the mid-range ones can go about 2,000, couple of thousands.
Yeah.
Then these one, a far-fetched number for me will be $30. But then in the world of crypto, $30, is that really far-fetched?
No, it's not. Yeah, correct. I mean, it's really crazy. As long as the game has traction and it has a decent, I would say, play to earn system, I feel that people will jump in because this is where the market is going right now. I mean, if you can play a game, you can earn, I mean, based on the research that I've been doing and people from like the Philippines or Malaysia, you can earn about 1,000 USD a month in terms of convertible to their exchange rate currency. That's a pretty decent paycheck just for playing games a couple of hours a day. Yeah, so this is why a lot of maybe Filipino gamers are out there trying to catch these games. Malaysians are jumping in on it, and I believe like the Indonesians, the countries that see the especially the currency exchange makes a decent pop. I think it's cool. Yeah.
So anyway, that's the final sharing for today, and we'll be back tomorrow. So thank you for joining us. Have a good day ahead. Goodbye.